7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Today on BKTV News, we've got a list of some activities that you can do over spring break, and then we'll have some details about the Heart Walk.
We will also hear from some of FHS's 3-sport athletes, followed up with a story on some of the artists here in our school. And wrapping things up will be another installment of Movie Review. All this coming up right here on BKTV News.
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Today is March 25th, 2021. Hello and welcome to BKTV News. I'm Garrett Sheets.
And I'm Ray Morrow, and this is BKTV News Live.
Well, Ray, let's get right into it. First up, we're going to send it on over to Blake Zonner and Jackson Beers to get you some info on how you can spend your spring break.
Hello FHS, I'm Jackson Beers, and today we're doing a top 5 segment over spring activities. We've interviewed a handful of students down in the cafeteria over what they're going to be doing during spring break, whether they're going to go fishing, hunting, traveling, we don't know. We're going to go ahead and lead into that now, and then after that we're going to get to the top 5. See you there.
I will probably be getting a lot of sleep because I won't have to go to school or go to my church class in the morning, so I'll be getting some good sleep that I've been missing out on.
Personally, I'm not really going to do anything. I'm probably just going to try to relax and, take that week off school that I need.
Probably going to catch up on sleep because I haven't started sports lately, and that's been taking up a lot of my time, so I'm not getting home until like 8 o'clock at night, and then I got to go do homework, so I'm just going to hopefully catch up on the sleep I've been missing on up.
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't made a lot of plans. Mostly I plan to get my license because that's well overdue. But I'm pretty sure it's mostly going to be kitchen renovations because that's what we're doing at the moment.
I'm just going to stay at home and because I'm lazy.
I'm going to be hanging out with my friends and family because that's something I enjoy doing the most.
I'm probably just going to go home, work out, and go back to the gym, work out some more, work at my job, which I'm just getting. Other than that, probably try to provide for my family, do all that stuff. So yeah.
Over spring break, I'll probably be going to Florida again because that's where I previously lived and I have all my friends down there. So yeah, just going to be taking a trip down to Florida.
I'm most likely going to be still continuing with track and all that because, we're still going to be doing all of our practices throughout that. And I'm going to just try to get some downtime just to relax and just enjoy it as much as I can.
I'm probably going to be playing mainly a bunch of video games because I have nothing else better to do. And sleep.
Likely very little. I'm tired. Probably going up to Michigan to visit my dad. Haven't seen him in a while, so good to connect with family.
Thank you for all those amazing replies. Now let's head over to the top 5 list of things to do during spring break in no particular order. Number 5, fishing. Fun fact, you can actually check out a fishing pole from the Farmington Public Library. That's right, you can borrow a fishing pole and go fishing at any of the local areas around here. Number 4, hiking. There are many local places here in Farmington to go hiking at, with even more in the general area. Places like Ingor Park and Elephant Rocks have some really amazing trails to walk through and enjoy the natural scenery. Number 3, reading. While picking up a fishing pole from the Farmington Library, you can also pick up some books and read through some many interesting stories. Number 2, head to the Lou. You can always head up to St. Louis and enjoy a small handful of activities all for free, such as the zoo and Lone Elk Park. You can also enter the Arch for free, but you can't go up to the top without an entrance fee. Number 1, nature watching. As mentioned earlier, natural scenery really is a pleasant thing to view, and you don't even really have to go hiking to enjoy it. Thank you to all of those who helped compile this top 5 from the Google form we sent out, and thank you for watching. Back to you guys.
For spring break, I have to go whitewater rafting. I hate whitewater rafting. The only time I ever want to see water is when I'm consuming it.
Okay, Garrett, pop off. In other news, we got a story from Caleb Dilly about the Heart Walk.
Each year, St. Francis County is home to one of the largest fundraisers for the American Heart Association for this area.
This is our 8th year, and we're really excited to get it going. It's the way St. Francis County supports the mission of the American Heart Association. So it's raise awareness about heart disease in your area and stroke as well, but also educate students and the community members about the importance of heart health and the different things that they can do to prevent heart disease or stroke in their lives.
Some of you may be familiar with the annual Heart Walk, but don't know what St. Francis County does with the money earned from it.
I want to give a thank you out to the Farmington community and St. Francis County as a whole, because the money being raised is to support those research projects, those studies, and also to educate your community on the dangers of heart disease. So we're helping people. We're helping our neighbors. $2.5 million went towards COVID research, but actually in the state of Missouri, we have funded over 30 studies in the last couple of years, which totaled about $5.4 million just in the state of Missouri.
Farmington High School representative for the Walk to Tackle Heart Disease, Landon Johnson, suffered an arm injury while playing basketball. But while getting examined for the arm injury, the doctors discovered that Landon had a hole in his heart.
In a week's time, I'm going into surgery to get a pacemaker. And that was kind of big. It was one of the biggest moments in my life for sure, because I was 10 years old and I was told that I was getting heart surgery, which that's kind of a big deal for a 10-year-old.
Landon knows all too well the importance of the heart and health research.
Last year, I think we raised up to $30,000. So this year, I hope we can beat that, and I hope we can also beat North County as well. That'd be awesome.
Now that you've learned a little bit about the Heart Walk yourself, I hope you do your part next year at the Walk to Tackle Heart Disease.
Thanks, Caleb.
March is International Women's Month, and now we've got a special story from Maggie Killian about 3 female athletes at FHS.
I like making new friends, just being involved in everything, because I knew if I wasn't, then I'd regret it when I'm older.
Yeah, I like the people, I like the friends, I like making memories.
I like the competitiveness and all, just making new friends and just being around people.
Well, one of my favorite memories was at volleyball practice last year when Lauren Obenauer was dancing while we were warming up and she fell straight on her face.
My favorite memory was from my sophomore year, and it was my freshman year, and it was when Hannah Wood threw the ball over the dugout against Poplar Bluff.
My favorite memories from junior year, I brought my niece into practice with us, and Grace Duncan asked if it was my daughter.
The boys always have the biggest student sections, and everyone is there to cheer them on. Like volleyball, we have pretty good student sections sometimes. But with basketball and other sports, there's like nobody there besides our parents, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I play softball, so nobody goes to those games. It's just like super quiet all the time. So I guess COVID was kind of like the same as it is for normal season.
I play volleyball, and we do have a really good student section sometimes. And then I also swim, where half the people don't even know we have a swim team, so nobody comes to those. And I mean, you get used to it, but
don't give up. You'll regret it when you're older. I mean, keep those good grades, stay in the sports, stay involved, because your future depends on it. So
yeah, I mean, at some point you might feel like everybody's on your back, but everybody's just trying to help you, and you have those resources. Like, you can go to your counselors, you can go to tutoring. I mean, my coach was a math teacher, and I mean, he would help us on the bus with our math. Like, you always have help out, so just keep pulling through. It'll be okay.
Well, volleyball is definitely the most fun. Basketball is, I don't know how to word this, but basketball is not as fun. I'm sorry. Track, I love it. It's the one that I'm best at. Yeah, I know.
Softball is by far my number one, but the sport that shocked me the most that I just realized that I love, and I did not realize I would cry after our meet, is probably swim. I did not think I would be good at it, and did not think I was gonna stick with it, but I love it now, and I definitely would go back and play it again.
Ari Woodson said,
yeah,
swim is hard.
Swim sucks. There's not much great about it. That is a lie. That is a lie.
I think my favorite sport would have to be volleyball. Close second would be swim. Sorry, Audie, but soccer, number 3. But
for our main sports, we all do other sports the same.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to do track in college. I mean, for volleyball, I'm not tall enough, and basketball, I mean, I'm not very good at it. I put basically all my time into track. So.
Yeah, I actually just signed for softball to play at St. Charles Community College.
Yeah. I'll be continuing. I'll get to play at MAC volleyball. I am on the shorter side, so I won't be up there making all the kills, but I'll be there.
Actually, a little fun fact, me and Bridget are the only 2 girl seniors that are signing out of our class.
Class of 2021.
Yes,
Coach Baker. She's always there when we need her, like, not even just during season. And for anyone, all of us, we can say we've cried in her office, like, so many times.
Actually, just yesterday before my signing, I was like, she is probably the most influential person in this building. Like, even, like, people are like, oh, she's a PE coach. Like, I've been in her gym today all hour, every hour I've been in there, but she's just so easy to talk to, and she understands what you're going through, like, even as a person, as an athlete, as a student athlete, like, it doesn't matter. She always knows what to say.
And I guess it's the connection, like, she's the only head female coach in the district, and so we just connect with her a little bit better than the male coaches. So she just influenced all of us in different ways, and I know for me personally, she's like taught me to be a better person, and not just my sport or anything like that, but like for myself, like eating habits and stuff like that. She's taught me so much, and I'm very grateful for her.
Yeah, like not even like the girls that she's there for. Like we have a good group of boys that we all just kind of like are really close with, and they turn to her as if it's her, as if it's their mom. Like, she's there for everybody, and
Mama Bake.
Yes,
She's amazing.
we live for her. Yes.
Man, that takes some real dedication and talent.
Speaking of talent in the high school, in this next segment, Jack Toney and Jared Barnes shine a spotlight on one of the talented artists here at FHS.
Let's check it out.
Farmington High School has plenty of talented students. We have asked an artist a few questions about her passion for art.
There was never really a time where I actually realized I was into art. I'm just always like naturally into it, so like there wasn't like a time I realized it.
We were shown her favorite piece of art.
My favorite piece is this girl who has a lot of jewelry on. I don't have a name for it, but I did it because of how sparkly and bright it was and unique.
She informed us of a tip that would be very helpful for future artists.
Try a variety of arts. Like, art is not just realistic, it can be abstract, it could be anything. So just try a variety.
Yeah, I could never do that. I'm terrible at drawing, even with stick people.
Same here.
And now, it's almost time to wrap things up here in the studio.
But before we do, Jackson Umfleet and Carter Klussmeyer sat down to watch the Snyder Cut of the Justice League movie and are going to give us an overview of it in this installment of Movie Review.
In a world of reboots and remakes, we have a new one to add to the list. On March 18th, Zack Snyder's Justice League was released. This film was made because of the fans who were displeased with the first Justice League, which came out in 2017. But now, 4 years later, their prayers were answered, and we are getting the originally intended version of the Justice League movie in a 4-hour film from director Zack Snyder. 4 years, 4 hours. I like that. Now let's get into our spoiler-free review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. But we will be releasing a spoiler talk video separately on BKTV YouTube, on the BKTV YouTube channel, so keep an eye out for that. The first question we've got to answer is, what did we think about the movie overall? So, Jackson?
Overall, I think the movie really improved upon what originally Zack Snyder had in mind. Joss Whedon picked it up after an unfortunate circumstances, and he did fairly well with it, but Snyder's vision was lost in the translation. So, now that we have Snyder's Justice League finally out and what he wanted, I mean, it's got a lot of, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because the first one did not make really that much sense, because you could tell two different people had a different vision, and they really did not mesh together well, so.
I would say that the first movie, the Joss Whedon movie, really hit the main points of the Zack Snyder film. You could tell in this film that there were different scenes added that really gave a lot of much needed context for this Justice League movie. So whenever you're going into this movie, it's really the same movie as Justice League, but with a lot of, I would say, necessary material added, but also some unnecessary material, which we'll get to. But overall, I thought that it was, if you're a fan of these characters, it's a worthwhile movie to check out. And if you liked or didn't like the first Justice League movie, still worth looking at, because you'll definitely be getting something different than what you originally saw. And I thought it was a fun ride overall. So what did we think they did really well with this movie?
Overall, I think the pacing of the movie went really well. I didn't even realize I was already 3 hours into the movie by that time, because of the way that he used his shots and the way that the story progressed. It just felt natural, and as we'll get to later, there were some added shots that did feel a little bit unnecessary, but overall, it really helped the character development, especially with characters like Cyborg.
Oh yeah.
Really helped those characters feel connectable too. And
yeah, I think they really made the characters that we got in the first Justice League movie, like Cyborg and Flash, and Justice League was the first, well, technically second time we got to see Aquaman, but at the same time, those characters really weren't fleshed out at all in Joss Whedon's movie. And in this one, they really hit on Cyborg's character. But overall, all the characters kind of play the same role that they did in the first Justice League movie that we got. And I think you're not going to be getting something in this film that is worse than the first film. I think Zack Snyder's vision really brought everything together, and there were questions that were brought up in the first film that this film answers. So what do we think the film did not do so well?
The duration of the movie, 4 hours, of course. There were a lot of scenes that could have been cut.
Oh yeah.
Especially the introduction of Aquaman. There were a lot of scenes with background characters where they were just singing, and
that was such an awkward scene.
It felt confusing. I didn't know what was happening, but
yeah, I think that the problem that this movie faced is the amount of time that it had. I think it's very clear that Zack Snyder came together with this and they said, okay, you're going to get your movie that you wanted, or that the fans wanted, I should say, which is really nice that we did get this movie. But I think definitely he was just given this opportunity to make the movie, and so every idea that he possibly had was just thrown.
It's like he said, you want the whole thing? Here's the whole thing.
So we're going to just wrap this up here and give our final thoughts. Jackson, what do you think?
I think overall the development of Cyborg, the addition of giving him a robotic voice too, really helped him stand out and maybe get a lot of new fans for him. Maybe the Whedon version did not really hit home with a lot of fans. They're like, I don't know who this guy is, I don't really care about him. The whole development of all of the characters, the Flash, Aquaman had a lot of development, which really helped get into his own solo Aquaman film that came out in 2018. And Wonder Woman and Batman had already been around, so it was really nice. The addition of the black Superman costume was really nice too.
I would say that this movie is, I don't want to say it's completely necessary, but if you care enough about the first Justice League movie or these characters in general, you should definitely check it out. Overall, I think this movie is definitely enjoyable, and if you care about these characters, you definitely got to go and see it. So this was really fun sitting down and talking about something that we each care about, and we hope that you enjoyed this talk. If you did, go check out the spoiler talk video, which will be dropping on BKTV News very soon. See ya.
Okay, that actually looks really cool. I'm gonna go watch that when I get home.
Same here. You wanna go watch it right now?
Bet, let's do it.
All right, well, that's all the time we got left for this episode. We'd like to give a special thank you to everybody who watched this and had a hand in making this episode. I'm Ray Morrow.
And I'm Garrett Sheets, and we'll see you on the next episode of BKTV News Live.